Welcome back to another video. I'm King Rally, and for those who are new here, we are already a week into Outriders official launch, and we've got an official dev news update that goes into effect next week that was released today on Reddit. We're already seeing that transparency, excellent communication, and hard work shown by People Can Fly and Square Enix that we saw from the demo. In the first bit of patch notes, it's pretty straightforward. We have patch PC and console fixes for some known crashes and bugs, such as a bad day side quest, the no HUD, stuttering on the PC, etc, etc. It's great to see them prioritizing these issues, tackling them head on, and implementing fixes. On top of them still monitoring server stability, we're also seeing some gameplay changes and balances. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. If you are farming Historian, Bounty Hunt, or Monster Hunt quest for the legendary drops at the end, that's going away. The silver lining, however, is any player who was using this exploit will not be receiving any consequential action or punishment, so you're safe there. We also see some loot adjustments to specific enemies, as People Can Fly felt they were giving up the goods just a little too easily. Now, this change I wasn't surprised to see, but both Chem Plant and Boomtown expedition times have been reduced. Boomtown is just by about 30 seconds, but Chem Plant, we're talking about 5 minutes. I will say, out of all the expeditions, Chem Plant was the easiest by far. We also see some weapon adjustments, specifically made to the crit damage multiplier to both tactical assault rifles and marksman rifles. Apparently, this is to make the appeal of using other guns more enticing. On to the real juicy goods. Gameplay balances and changes already. Bullet abilities are receiving quite a bit of focus and tweaking. Devastators rejoice, but Tricksters, big oof. According to People Can Fly, they want the overpowered sensation to stay with the strong or meta builds, but they feel the bullet-based builds took minimal time spent to perform at a higher level. As a Trickster main, I can agree with this. They have stated that if it is too harsh or not harsh enough, they will consider further adjustment. For Trickster, the cooldown of Twisted Rounds skill has increased to 25 seconds from 16 seconds. People Can Fly still want us to be able to have infinite round builds, but they want it to be a more high risk, high reward. Meaning, if we do run into those incidents where we're not prioritizing critical shots or messing up target priority, etc., and we have to reload, well, we lose Twisted Rounds. They want us to really feel the punishment of losing the bullet buff. Now the section that really kind of hurts, especially if you're a Trickster main. Disruptive Firepower, Scion of Power, and Outrider Executioner Hero Tree nodes have been nerfed. Their power reduced to 35% from 50%, is where I'm a sad boy as a Trickster main now. We'll see how hard this impacts us when the patch goes live, but on paper, this seems like this is going to hurt a lot. But theoretically, it could just turn Twisted Rounds bullet build into a gear dependent build instead of being able to cheese with a blue auto pump shouty. For Technomancer, damage against poison hero tree node will have its power reduced to 15% from 30%. This is going to limit their insane spread damage, because on top of that, vulnerable status has had its power reduced to 15% from 25%, which under this node, blighted rounds was spreading on top of the toxic status effect, creating an insane tool of destruction. Lastly, Pyromancer's Trial of Ashes hero node has been reduced from 30% extra damage to 15%. From what I saw, it seemed like Pyro was struggling with damage in this tree path as it was, so unless I'm mistaken, I could see this be reverted. Multiplayer server stability and connections have been something that has been one of the main focuses for Square Enix, and they are continuing to improve upon it. I would anticipate that once the patch goes live next week, playing in a group could become a lot smoother. That said, this isn't my area of expertise, so check down in the description below for the links to the dev posts on Reddit if you're interested in the details of the technical side. Talking about stability reminds me that they are also implementing fixes on inventory wipe and working hard to get the lost items restored, stating that with the crash fixes in place, they intend to run a one-off mass restoration. However, they have made it known that any items acquired when the server crashed before an autosave could complete can't be restored. They can work their magic, but only so much. Last bit of the patch notes is quite a nice gesture offered by People Can Fly and Square Enix. Everyone who played Outriders from March 31st to April 11th will be receiving one legendary weapon and free titanium. The amount of titanium and the level of the legendary is going to be level appropriate and go to your highest level character. On top of that, now this one I find really amusing, we will also be getting a frustration emote. This one I absolutely love for two reasons: the irony behind it, which I'm sure is what inspired them to create it in the first place, and the sense of humor that we can clearly see that People Can Fly and Square Enix are displaying. Just all around great positive vibes. I've said it so many times before, and I'll say it a lot more. The level of transparency and communication shown by the devs is stunning, and such a warm welcome change in the game industry. We're a week in and they're attempting to make changes in a calculated and aggressive manner. I'm nothing but supportive. That said though, I would have liked to have seen them address the underperforming situations and bring them up either before hitting us with hard nerfs or at the same time of the nerf. That is how you normally achieve an ultimate balance. Rarely is it accomplished with one direction, but as they mentioned in the dev news update, these themselves could still change. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But maybe you all have a different opinion though. Let me know down in the comments below. I love hearing from you, and getting another perspective on a situation really helps not only educate myself, but educate others who are looking for some insight. But that's about all the time I have. But before we end it, I do just want to remind you that I do stream every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, as well as an afternoon stream on Sunday. If you want to come by and join, I'd love to have you there. Link is down in the description below. And if you found this video helpful in any way, please make sure to hit the subscribe button, like the video, and hit the tiny little bell to be notified. But until next time, and as always, you stay lovely, you beautiful legends.